What's going on, everyone? It's Bowles, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Manchester United have won 2-0 against Chelsea in a decent performance. Not perfect, but got the win, got the 3 points. I'll get into all the action in just a second. But if you are watching this video, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn notifications on so you don't miss any content when I go live or whenever. And also go follow my social media channels. The links will be in the description of the video below, so make sure you go and check that out. But Manchester United have won 2-0 against Chelsea. The first half was a very open game in general. It wasn't very defensive, but the first half was mainly about both teams having a couple of chances, but not really having that finishing edge, that finishing touch to be able to put those chances away. Up until Anthony Martial with a brilliant Wan-Bissaka cross, were able to head it in for a 1-0 lead. I think one in the 44th minute, 1 minute before added time and half time. So it was a great cross by Wan-Bissaka and then a good header by Martial to finish off the first half. Batshuayi nearly equalised as well straight after that, but unfortunate for him that went wide. So. And then the second half was a little bit better in terms of Manchester United chances. And then obviously the second goal came with Harry Maguire's header from a Bruno Fernandes cross, which was a great header. It was a great goal. And the captain put it in. So very good performance. In terms of Chelsea, they had a few chances. They obviously had the 2 chances got ruled out by VAR with Giroud with that header that he came on, which is a good header, but his toe was offside. So unfortunately for him, it was offside and ruled out. And the other one, who was the other one that scored it? Who was the other one that scored that goal that was ruled? Oh, that's right, Kurt Zuma from a cross. But as per the quota, 2 hands in the back of Brandon Williams. It's a foul. Like Chelsea fans were arguing, but it's a foul. You can't push someone in the back and expect to get away with it. So unfortunately, again for Chelsea, that was ruled out by VAR, but fair enough as well. Both of them were fair enough. Like the VAR one's a little bit stiff, but unfortunately that's the way VAR goes, and Drew was offside. And then, again, just Chelsea created a lot of chances. Again, just didn't have that finishing touch. Obviously missing Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham, all those Pulisic, those guys like that, the ones that are more likely going to finish those chances and be able to create those chances, weren't playing for them today. So they didn't have enough creativity. I did predict a 2-1 win to Manchester United. Obviously, they got 2-0, so even better. They kept a clean sheet as well, which I wasn't exactly sure if they'd be able to do that because they've been a little bit sloppy. Obviously, they did concede a few chances to Chelsea today, but in the end, they did keep that clean sheet. So in terms of what that does for the table, it clogs up that middle part in terms of who is going to make the top 4 or in terms of top 5, because obviously Man City's banned, which if you haven't checked that video I did a couple of days ago, make sure you go and check that out. I sort of go through what exactly that means for the Premier League. So make sure you go and check that and smash a like on the video for that one. But obviously Liverpool, as I said, a clear away, going to win the title. Man City behind them, obviously that's with an asterisk because we don't know if they're going to be making Champions League football with their ban. Depends on how the appeal goes, but I don't think they're going to overturn it, but you never know. Strange things have happened. Leicester are safe-ish, but they've got that. If they have a couple of games where they slip up, they could end up falling down a couple of places and they could be in risk of missing out. Obviously, Chelsea losing this game, that's not good for them. They could have pulled themselves away from the pack, but unfortunately with them losing today, they bring that packs real squeezed in to see who can get those last couple of spots or that last spot for the Champions League. So then you've got Tottenham are a point behind Chelsea now. The massive game next week between Chelsea and Tottenham. I'm pretty sure it's at Stamford Bridge, but that's going to be a massive game to see. I think that game could determine who gets that one of those spots or gets that spot and goes into Champions League football. Then you've got Sheffield United a point behind Tottenham as well. So, again, they're right in the mix as well at the moment. They're just outside the spot, but you never know what can happen there. And then Manchester United 1 point behind Sheffield United, 2 points behind Tottenham and 3 behind Chelsea now. So they're right in the mix as well. You've also got to add Wolves and Everton into that mix as well. They're 2 points behind Manchester United each. So they're going to be right in the mix. And I did say in my video the other day that Arsenal, I didn't think were in the hunt, but I think they're a little bit back in the hunt now. If they lost that game against Newcastle, then they weren't. But you never know. They've got a couple of winnable games coming up for them, so they're only a couple of games away. So they're in the hunt as well, realistically. So and then you maybe just throw Burnley in there as well, just to throw another name in there. So very jam packed there. In terms of the Manchester United fixtures coming up as well, being a Manchester United fan, this is what I'm keen to see. We've got Watford at home, which is a game that we should win. But the thing Manchester United have got the problem with all the time is that they beat either the teams in the top 6 or they are very competitive against those teams, but they always seem to struggle against your Crystal Palaces, your Burnleys, your Watfords, Norwich, teams like that, even though we did beat Norwich 4-0 the other week. But I'm just saying that we do struggle against these teams that are a little bit down lower on the table. So we've got Watford at home. Then we have Everton away, which will be difficult because Everton are playing quite well. And that will be a big game for Everton to try and work their way back into that conversation of Champions League football. But hopefully United can get the job done there as well. Then they've got the Manchester Derby, which will be interesting. Have I read that correctly? So Watford, Everton, yeah, and then the Manchester Derby, which will be very interesting to see how that goes. It is at Old Trafford, so you would like to think hopefully United can get a draw. Man City have been struggling a little bit more this season compared to last season, so we'll see what happens with that one. But United got a couple of a bit of a mixed bag, as I said. Like Watford, winnable. Everton is a little bit like Man United should probably beat Everton, but it's a little bit of a toss of the coin a little bit because obviously United have been very inconsistent, up and down, up and down. And then Man City obviously is like you don't know what's going to happen there. But United perform well against the top 6 sides, as I said. So hopefully they can get the job done in that one. So we move on to the player ratings today for Manchester United. And in terms of the squad, I'll go from back to front, from goalkeeper to the front line, and then we'll also go through the subs as well. So David De Gea didn't really do too much. There wasn't a lot of shots on target. Actually, I don't think Chelsea had I think they had one shot on target that wasn't counted as offside. I believe. Let me just have a quick look at that one. Yes, so David De Gea did make 1-7. I'm pretty sure that was the Azpilicueta one, so it wasn't really troubling him. So I'll give him a 7.5. 7.5 there, stock standard. Got the clean sheet. Obviously, you could say arguably because obviously 2 goals went in, but they were obviously overruled by VAR. But I'll give him a 7.5, stock standard. Didn't have to do too much, but he just kept the clean sheet in the end. Eric Bailly played really, really well. I like Mark Goldbridge, what he said in his on the United Stand. Make sure you go follow them as well. He said that comparing Phil Jones and Eric Bailly is just like Eric Bailly is like eating a Big Mac, and Phil Jones is like eating a thing of concrete. So it's true because Jones is not that great. He's not a Manchester United player. He never has been. So Eric Bailly was obviously the obvious choice because Lindelof was ill today. But Bailly did really well. I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8.5. 8.5 because he got the clean sheet, played really well. 1 or 2 mistakes, obviously, a bit shaky, but overall played really, really well to come in and play like that. So I'll give him an 8.5 there. Harry Maguire was my man of the match. I give him a 9 because I'll give him a 9.5. Sorry, 9.5 because he got a clean sheet, scored the goal, commanded the defence, is captain for the day. Obviously, 1 or 2 little shaky moments. He nearly was the reason that Giroud scored that goal, but obviously it was offside, so it didn't actually matter if he was playing him onside because he wasn't onside, so he's offside. So we've got a 9.5 there. My man of the match today, Luke Shaw. I'll give him an 8. Did pretty well back there, playing at centre back as well. He overlapped as well, so it was a bit interesting to see him go sort of left back and then overlapping Brendan Williams, but he got the job done, kept the clean sheet, so I'll give him an 8 there. Aaron Wan-Bissaka played well. I'll give him an 8 as well. He a couple of little, obviously, turned the ball over a couple of times, but he doesn't lose many challenges at all. He always wins the ball back, and I'll give him an 8 as well. Fred, I'll give an 8.5. He played really well in the midfield. He commanded the midfield quite well. Obviously, again, little cover errors, but every player makes cover errors every game. yeah, just buzzed around the pitch. A lot of good work rate, getting the ball, good passing, and just like a very, very good leader in that midfield. He's turned into a really good leader for Manchester United. That midfield. Matic, I'll give a 7.5. He played pretty well, not too bad to obviously come in, obviously with no Pogba playing there as well, and no McTominay. He just sometimes he's just a little bit slow, like lost the ball a couple of times, like just not looking up quick enough, just taking a bit too long with the ball. So just a bit disappointing. You probably need to get the ball off a bit quicker. So so I give him a 7.5 there. Brandon Williams, I will give him an 8.5 as well. Oh, no, sorry, not an 8.5, an 8 as well. Played pretty well again as just really good young player coming through, just learning the ropes of Premier League and whatever, playing quite well for Manchester United. So I'll give him an 8. Bruno Fernandes was probably the second best, one of the top 3 players on the pitch. So I'm going to give him a 9 as well. He played really well. The only thing wrong with Bruno Fernandes, he just didn't get the ball more. Like his passing was crisp. He didn't turn the ball out. The only times he returned the ball was when he just missed a pass. So it was off by a couple of centimetres, just maybe a little bit too much power, a little bit too much one way. Played really, really well. He's looking like a really good signing for Manchester United, which I thought would be anyway, if I get my words out. He looks the part, looks like a Man United player, and I give him a 90. Beautiful cross to set up Maguire's header, and just a perfect play. Very, very good play by Manchester United there. Dan James is probably the most disappointing player on the pitch. Give him a 6.5. Didn't really do anything. Just he did like a couple of things. Like he made a couple of nice runs, but he didn't really get involved. He's probably the one guy of the team that wasn't really involved very much. So I give him a 6. And Anthony Martial, give him a 9 as well. He scored the goal, played well, and just that clinical finish. He did a lot. He did some good hold-up play. Had a couple of other chances, some other things, but just obviously a couple of little things to work on. But you got to give him. I give him a 9. I guess you could be a little bit harsher and maybe give him like an 8.5. Bruno an 8.5, and Maguire a 9, and then downgrade. But Man United won. They kept a clean sheet, so be a bit more positive. Give Anthony Martial a 9 there. In terms of the subs, Andres Pereira, Dalot, and Igalo. Out of the 3, Igalo obviously had that one chance where I was hoping he'd score, but he didn't quite put it in, which is unfortunately. Probably should have finished it, but on the other hand, it was a decent save by Caballero, so it was his only save that he made for the game. So obviously the other 2 chances on target were Manchester United goals. So give all the subs a 6. Just the stock standard 6. Excuse me. You can't really give much more. They didn't really have too much time. The first sub was made in the 80th minute, so only 10 minutes plus stoppage time. So you can't really expect players to do too much with only 10 minutes, but Galo nearly did. So, and obviously Delay come in extra time, so he was only on there for a couple of minutes. So that is what I give the player ratings. So that is it for the Manchester United review today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously, the camera is probably not the best quality. I'm using my webcam on my computer. Hopefully, eventually, once I can get 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe to the channel so you can help me get to that goal. I'll be able to stream from my mobile, my phone, which is a lot better camera. I'll be able to record in a lot better quality. So then for you guys, and I'm looking at buying a camera anyway and a better microphone so you guys can actually hear me better. And it'll be a better experience for you guys when you watch these match reactions with the reviews and stuff like that. So good win for Manchester United today, 2-0 over Chelsea. This is the first time, and I should have mentioned this before, it's the first time they've done the double over Chelsea since the 87-88 season, so over 30 years since they've done. They haven't done it in the Premier League era, so good for Manchester United to get that double done over Chelsea. They obviously beat them in the Cup earlier in the season as well, so 3 times this year. Unfortunately, didn't ever see Rashford or anything, so obviously being injured, but we got the job done without him, Pogba, which is very good for Man United. So good stuff. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel, as I said, if you haven't already. I want to hit that 1,000 subscribers and hit that milestone. And turn notifications on so you don't miss any content when I go live or whenever I upload a video, which hopefully in the next few days. And good stuff. So and all my social media stuff will be in the description below. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Cheers.